distracted. But if we had stepping stones, could you get to the other side more easily? Yes. That's what GPS has been doing. We've been creating these toolkits, one building on the other, skills. So the first one, where's PR? What does PR stand for? Proactive responsibility, right? Making good choices. Don't be a weather vane, be a compass, right? Take principles and apply them. But take responsibility, right? Don't have people nag you. Don't be a victim. You choose, right? It's like Jaden sprinting all the way to the back of the room. He made it up there, right? He can't do it, that's right. So that's the second one, CD. You got to have a can-do attitude. You got to persevere when things are hard. You don't give up, right? You figure things out. And we taught you how your brain learns so that you can learn anything that you want. So that's not the challenge. The challenge is getting yourself to do it, right? So once you've got this initiative, what's the next one? TD stands for talents discovered, right? So like Bart discovered he had a music talent, Miss Debbie her piano talents, right? When you discover your talent, you can now develop that into a vision, right? A vision for your life future, what God has planned for you, a great purpose that you can make a difference. But just having the vision, does that get you all the way to your future? No. So the next step goes. 3T stands for time, temptation, and treasure. There you go, you got it, right? So when you can manage yourself, you can stay focused, right? Don't let yourself fall into addiction, stay in reality, not fantasy, right? Get focused, put your efforts in, then you're ready for MR. Meaningful relationships, right? So we learn how to get along and not be distracted, not the Jerry Springer and all the drama, right? We get focused and we have healthy relationships with people. Then we're now ready for today. Team Calling Collaborative. All right, you guys got it. Team Club collaboration, right? So when you can collaborate now, you can multiply your efforts. We're going to learn about how we do that today. So then, if you know how to be a team player, you are equipped. You are capable to pursue your dreams. And at graduation, it's going to come to you. You're going to realize, wow, I am equipped. I am capable. I'm ready to get my future, right? You're excited. You're not afraid of the future. You know you can make a difference. You can do it. But we got to build these toolkits together. So today, the last distraction that we have to overcome is the distraction of just trying to do everything on your own. You know some people that they really aren't willing to try to understand other people. They just want to try to just figure out their own life. It's really tough. You try to do it all by yourself. So Miss Debbie and I, we're a team. We work together. It's a lot easier and more fun. We're going to learn that again today. So we got to make sure that we're willing to be a team player. Now, how many have ever played basketball with someone who's a ball hog? And they won't pass the ball. They want to dribble and score. They do it all themselves, right? It's no fun. And guess what? It's not productive. Right? You get all 5 players playing and do a lot better. So what we're saying is we are going to learn how to collaborate, right? Now TLC normally stands for tender love and care. We need some of that, right? But we use that TLC kind of as a memory thing, right? Team, love, collaboration. So let's look at an example of what collaboration looks like. This is a team of acrobats, all right? So see how well they perform together, all right? Could you do that by yourself? Yeah. Easy. 5 to 7 people. That's pretty cool. Synchronized together. Guys. Listen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120 Now, unfortunately, sometimes our families are like that. You ever seen where sometimes kids come home to their home, they kind of like check in like a hotel and expect room service? Is that really fair to your parents? No. We work together, right? But the common goal unites us in our efforts. So, for instance, football teams in the NFL want to win what? The Super Bowl. Baseball teams want to win what? The World Series. Right? They have a common goal, and everyone sacrifices for that goal. The second part is, as was mentioned, Marco said, you got to need one another. Everyone's got to contribute for it to be a team. Otherwise, one person's pulling for everyone else. And sometimes that's the team leader. So Mr. Mackey's the teacher. It is not an easy job. He may make it look easy, right? But it's not an easy job. But if the teacher does all the work and you guys are along for the ride, is that a very productive team? No. If we're all helping together, we make the job a lot more easy and more productive. So think about our team here. What is the purpose of our 8th grade Mr. Mackey team? What are we trying to do together? Yeah, graduation is kind of the end result, but what are we trying to do together? Learn, right? Learning daily gets you to the success, right? When you know how to learn, you can do any job. So remember Raymond James, when I hired people who had a thirst for learning. Because you're never going to know everything you need for the future. You know what you know today, but you've got to be thirsty to keep learning. That gets you ahead of the competition. It lets you grow and develop to be all you're made to be. So you've got to learn how to learn, right? To be a lifelong learner. Now you guys are in a great place, 8th grade. If you're practicing now, then 9th grade becomes easy, right? 10, 11, 12, college, life. But where do you build the life skills to learn? GBS. Today. I love that. GBS. Today, you're learning 8th grade. This is not a time to float, just get through, right? This is the time to practice for success. Win the Super Bowl of life, right? Right here in Mr. Mackey's class, you've got a great head coach who's trying to give you the playbook. But you've got to learn, you've got to do your part. Then, you'll achieve success. All right? So this is our working definition. So you wrote that in your books. Now let's test this out. Okay, let's see how this definition works. Here's a picture of a guy kicking a football around. Is that teamwork? Marco says, no, right? He's practicing, that's good, but that's not teamwork, right? What does teamwork look like then? Remember Tom Dempsey with no toes, kicking the longest field goal in NFL history?
In addition to winning the game.
Look at the teamwork. There it goes.
I don't believe this.
Every time my line salutes. Doesn't change. I mean, look, this team's going crazy, right? When you are successful as a team, you celebrate, right? That teamwork. Right? So would you agree that's teamwork?
Yeah.
Did Tom Dempsey kick that all by himself? There, you got blockers out front. Someone had to hike it, right? Someone then had to hold it, right? It's all the team working together to make that score. It's all about teamwork. So that is teamwork. Let's get another example. Out fishing. Here's fly fishing. Nice day. Cooper says, no, it's just him, right? If he were to catch a really big fish, he might not be able to haul it in by himself, right? So you can't get much done by yourself. But watch this. That's a knot. Now, if you put a team together, look at this load. They've got a big net. Look at all those fish. Is that teamwork? That kind of reminds me of the Bible. Remember when the disciples had been out fishing all night and caught nothing? Tabitha, and then Jesus said to do what? Roll the net on the other side of the boat. Try it a new way, right? And all of a sudden, they caught so much that their nets were tearing. It's the most fish they'd ever caught. So guess what? They counted them. 153 in that haul, right? So again, when we're working with the Lord, when God's on your team, man, you're going to be really productive. So Blake, that was a great practice this Thanksgiving to work on your relationship with God. So would you agree that's teamwork? Yeah. So now, if we understand what teamwork is, now we understand the result of it is through collaboration. So again, the people in this formation on top are trusting what? People on top, don't drop me. People on the bottom trusting the people on top, what? Don't wiggle around on me, stay in formation. So we yourself, right? Because you're learning more by teaching, right? So we're helping each other along the way. So actually, team, we can use it as an acronym. We use those letters to describe teamwork. The T stands for together. E, everyone. A, cheese. M, more. Right? It's all about more together. Not your own. So write that in. Together, everyone achieves more. If you believe that, then you're going to be committed to that teamwork. Right? You'll put your effort in for the greater team good. All right? So with that in mind, we then ready for the principle. Right? Every adventure is based on a biblical principle. Ecclesiastes 4:9, one of my favorites. 2 is better than 1. Because we can accomplish more together than we each could on our own. Right? 2 is better than 1. So that's, again, the foundation of marriage. Right? Miss Debbie and I, we are better together than we would be on our own. When we pray together, we can accomplish more with God, right, than just doing it on our own. You got to believe in teamwork, but you got to work on it, right? Is it easy? No. But again, invest in the relationship. So what is Miss Debbie like? Yeah, but what do I do that she likes?
Flowers and flowers.
Flowers. She loves the flowers. And then every night, she gets what? A foot rub, back rub, help her relax, right? That's how I make her feel priceless, right? I'm investing in the relationship. What does she do for me every morning? Water. Yeah, water. Yeah, that's really good. Right? Water is helpful. She makes scrambled eggs for me, right? I wouldn't bother to do that. So again, we give to each other. When you give, right, then the fruit of working together produces a great result. So now, if this is God's principle, we should see it out in God's nature, right? So here's an example. Why do birds fly in a V shape? Why not a W, or a O, or an E, or an X? What do you think, Isaac?
So make it seem like there are very large birds.
Okay, so strength in numbers, yeah, they look bigger. Okay, that's an idea. What do you think? Okay, so but why a V shape? Why not an X shape, or, you know, an I shape? Or, what do you think? Okay, so there's a lead bird out there. What's the lead bird doing? Okay, so the smart bird's out front, right, like the A+ student, and then the other B and C students are lined up behind that bird. What do you think, Nicholas?
So they can rest while they're flying.
Okay, so how are they resting?
Well, it's basically kind of like aerodynamics. So one takes the charge, and then the others can fly behind it.
All right, do you hear what he said? It's physics. The lead bird is cutting the air. How many wings does the bird have? 2. So that's why the birds line up along the wind being cut. Just like in NASCAR, you know, slipstreaming. Another car comes right up behind it. Looks like they're going to have an accident, right? But the air is being cut, so the vehicle in the back is saving gas, right? It has more power because they're not cutting through the air. So when the lead bird gets tired, what does it do?
Falls to the back.
Falls to the back, the next bird takes over, right? They're able to rotate, so when one bird would get tired, a flock of birds in a V shape can fly for hundreds of miles when they need to migrate. God designed them that way for their survival, right? The productivity of teamwork. So it's not like the lead bird went to bird school or something, right? This is God programmed in their teamwork, okay? So we have to kind of give a brain, we have to learn how to do teamwork, but we're designed for teamwork. We just have to understand how to do that. So it's aerodynamics, they rotate, so the team bird that goes out the first, the team leader, is doing more work. So in this team here, who's the team leader? Mr. Macke, right? He's leading, he's doing the work, but can we make it easier for him? Can we share some of that leadership?
Yeah.
Right, so what could we do to make it easier for Mr. Macke? Yes, Cooper. Okay. So volunteer activity, so there's something I can do to help. What else can we do to make his job easier, Dave?
Make sure we're being respectful.
Being respectful, that helps a lot. How about when he asks you to do something, what should you do?
Do it.
Do it. Don't give him a hard time, right? Do it. And if he gives you assignments, do it Friday. When should you do it?
Friday.
Today, tomorrow, before Friday, right? Mr. Macke shouldn't have to nag you to get things done. So honestly, is there anyone nagging you at home? If that's true, that means you're not taking the initiative, right? So they have to nag you to get it done. Remember, that's compliance mode. You want to be in commitment mode. You do it before you're asked. And then you say, hey, can I help out, right? And
What if you do before they ask and you still get mad?
how would you get negative? It's already done. Hey, say, Mom, I did it. What she's really saying, hey, Mom, is there something I can do to help you? Right? It's kind of maybe you lead the horse. She's just in the habit of nagging because it's been so long, not used to it, right? You got to build a habit, right? But this is a signal. You guys can be leaders. You can make a difference, right? So again, we help each other along, make it easier for Mr. Macke. Your team's going to do better. Make it easier for your parents. So remember my dad come home from work. What did I say to him?
You look thirsty, guys. You want some water?
Yes, you guys are listening, right? Dad, you look thirsty. Get something to drink. You would feel appreciated, right? And so when we help each other, we show appreciation to the team leader, it makes it easier for everybody. We build great relationships. All right? So this is our opportunity. Now, did I just tell you what I did for Thanksgiving? Okay, so some years ago, all 7 of us kids came home for Thanksgiving, right? And at that time in Indiana, they had just a tremendous amount of rain, just deluge, or almost like Noah's Ark kind of thing, right? And so our garage was going to flood. My dad had all his tools and everything out of the garage. My dad was kind of sweating like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose all my tools. So you know what I said? I said, hey, we got all of this. Let's form a bucket brigade. Let's bail the water out before it floods the garage. So we got out there with buckets, and we were then passing the water, getting the water out, singing Christmas carols. Did we save the garage? Yeah. And guess what? We have a great memory. Remember that Thanksgiving when we all bailed out the garage? It builds great memories when you work as a team, right? And it's productive. So this is the opportunity, but it only takes one person to initiate teamwork, right? You can be that one person in your family. So just like the birds, it's built in nature. Now, you might say, okay, Mr. Kane, that's a good example, right? But I'm not quite convinced. All right, let me give you another example. We could go on all day. Here is a Clydesdale horse. A normal horse can pull 1 ton. That's a lot, right? But these big Clydesdale horses, you know, they pull the Budweiser carts, can pull how many tons?
6.
Now that's a little bit much. 2 tons, right? Twice they can do the work of 2 horses, right? That's the kind of horse you want to have, right? So if you put 2 of them together, how much can you pull? More. More than 4. More than 6.
8.
More than 8.
10.
10. That is a correct answer. It's physics. If Mr. Macke taught you about inertia, it takes more energy to break inertia, right? These are Newton's laws to get things going. Once it's in motion, then it will stay in motion. It's easier to do, right? So if a car went into a ditch, right? The car stopped to kind of help get them out. If everyone just pushing, they don't get the car out. But if they say, wait, one person says, 1, 2, 3, push together, go, and everyone push together, it multiplies their force, and they get the car out of the ditch, right? So when we pull together, when we push together as a family, or as a learning team here, we do it together, we multiply our efforts. It's not just additive. Isn't that kind of cool? That's the way God designed us. But we got to learn how to do it. We got to believe in that, right? So it works in nature, right? So are you convinced now of teamwork?
Yes.
Okay, some people are. Let's go a little further. We can prove it to you, giving you an experience. So we're going to give you another set of puzzles here. You guys love puzzles, right? This is an acronym puzzle. So 4W on a C. The W and C stands for wheels. So 4 wheels on a car, right? That's what you're saying, right? 13 OC, 13 original colonies. So I'm going to give you some of these to decode. I want you to work on your own. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Don't talk to anyone. See how many of these acronyms you can decode. On your mark, get set, go. Okay, don't talk. Just work on your own. If you get stuck on one, go to the next. Just read it to yourself in your mind and see if something pops out. Okay, the coach is giving you some inspiration there. You can do it. Okay, go Tom. Stuck on one, go to the next. All right, 30 seconds. I see some smoke coming out of your ears. Don't hurt yourself, right? Just do your best. Seconds. Take your last guesses here. 10. Countdown. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, put your pencils down. All right, now, was that easy or hard? That's hard. Doing life by yourself is hard at times, right? Especially doing something new that maybe you haven't done before, right? It can seem overwhelming. If you think it's impossible, what does that do to your motivation level? It drops. So some people are just kind of like defeated, giving up, right? Because it seemed too hard. Yes, Isaac?
I know 36.
Okay, so you got a couple there. How many got at least a few? Couple here, okay? So this is hard to do. So guess what we're going to do now? I'm going to let you collaborate with anyone in the room you want. Share what you got, what they got, figure it out. Let's work together, okay? Have your mark, get set, go. Start talking it over. Share what you got. Find somebody. Do-si-do.
I got my first 6 scoreboards.
All right, so we got some. Start sharing. Turn on your link by Mara. She's got a couple you don't have. Find somebody. Okay, so lights not going to work. That's great. All right, so find someone, talk it over. Find someone who's got some others. Isaac said he had 6. Why don't you go find Isaac, see if he can share with you. He had number 6. All right, so good collaboration going. All right, so yes, you're getting it. Right, here's what we got. They got some good answers up front here. You need to collaborate. They got some answers up here.
Yeah, I forgot.
Grab the seat. Come on over here. They got some good answers here. Share what you got. That's a great answer. And 7. Find some other people. Share what you got. All right, elaborate.
What do you have?
Use that number 5. That's our. That is our member first, our principal. You guys are 29.
Oh my
Okay. Was it easier to work together? Much easier. Was it more fun to work together? Okay, and it was more productive. Just about everyone, I think, got all of them, right? We helped each other out. Again, 2 key lessons in here. When you get all the answers, do you just stay put? No, you make sure that everyone on the team, right, is caught up. Now, some people say, oh, well, we're just copying. No, copying is when you're supposed to do your own work, and then you take someone else's. But when we say to collaborate, that means to share, right? And you can help each other with that. So there's kind of a different time to do those activities, right? So this is more productive to work together. So are you convinced now about teamwork? Does it work? Yeah, and it's more fun in the process. It is tough to do life alone. We're meant to be that way. God didn't design us to work alone. 2 is better than 1, right? We work together. Ecclesiastes 4:9. So, again, did anyone get the bonus one, number 9 that was up there? T12TOI? The 12 tribes of Israel. Yeah, it wasn't your book, it was a bonus on the screen there. Yeah? The 12 tribes. So, the key to these puzzles is you look at the number, right? So when you saw 50S, what do we have 50 of? 50 states, right? When you see 3S, what do you have 3 of? 3 sides of a triangle, right? So you look at the number, and that often gives you a clue, right? Like 7, 7 dwarfs, right? Okay, we all know that stuff. So you guys just experienced synergy, right? Where you work together, you prove the definition works. So we've seen it in nature, right? We've seen it in action, and now you've seen it in your own experience. So teamwork really does work. So now, though, we got to be committed to teamwork, and we need to do it for how many days to make it a habit? 30 days, right? So December could be your team month, right? This is the month that Mr. Macke's class is going to take it to the next level, right? By working together practice, it will be then your gift for life. And whatever you do, so again, when I hired people at Raymond James, not only wanted people that were hard workers and knew how to learn, but I wanted to hire people who wanted to work in teams, right? It's much more productive than just doing it yourself. So, I'm a math major, so I like to kind of translate things into math. So in math, 1 plus 1 equals what? 2, right? In teams, 1 plus 1 equals what?
2.
Right?
Synergy.
See, we're not in agreement, right? It's because the answer is it depends on the relationships. Let me explain what I mean. Negative synergy is when you have 2 people that fight, right? When people fight, do they get anything done? No, it's actually more destructive than they just stayed away, right? So that's negative synergy. So that's why it was really good. Nicholas said he's trying to reduce fights in the home. He's moving the team in the right direction. Now, have you ever heard people say, oh, let's just agree to disagree? That's when 1 plus 1 is nothing. That's a cop-out. It means I'm not willing to listen and appreciate your ideas, and you aren't willing to listen to mine. We'll just agree to disagree. It gets nothing done, right? That's a waste of our talents and our abilities. God put us together to be productive. Now, you ever go debated, 2 people, 1 plus 1, and someone argues, they want to be right, the other person wrong, right? You only get one person's idea out of that. Is that productive? No, and the person that lost usually have hard feelings, right? So you never really win those arguments. Now, cooperation is like a golf team. You shoot your round, I shoot my round. Okay, we add them up. That's nice to cooperate, but it's not really powerful, right? The power comes in when 1 plus 1 is more. Together. Could be 3, could be 5, could be 10, could be 100, right? The creativity of working together produces great results. And so I know this class, you guys are amazing. When you start putting really your heads together, working together, helping each other, right? Teaching each other, helping Mr. Macke, man, the sky's the limit. And if you learn to do it now, you got it for when?
Later.
The rest of life, right? High school will be a breeze. College will be a breeze. Life, not that it's always easy, but you'll know how to do it. You'll be able to persevere and get it done. People will want you on their teams, right? This is the formula for success. So, what are we saying here? We got to apply this to our relationships. So, if you're not in a uniting relationship, win-win. If you're in one of these others, you're hurting, or you're always the giver, and the taker's always taking from you, we work to build win-win. The teamwork. So who's going to start it, though? You. So if you're in a hurting relationship, you're the giver first. You try to understand and help them, and then you ask them to help you, right? You negotiate that win-win. You learn to work as a team, right? So Nicholas and his family says, hey guys, let's not fight so much. Let's try to get along, right? That's a good start, right? And then in your family, you start helping each other out, right? You help your parents. You help your brothers and sisters. If you're an older brother or sister, you try to help the younger ones, right? So remember, my brother Steve was 9 years younger than me, and I taught him everything he learned, and he fixed the Hubble Space Telescope, right? So, if we are coaching and mentoring at home, we're helping the family, but you're also helping to build your leadership. You guys are leaders for the Lord. And at graduation, on Monday the 14th, you're going to be realizing, I am equipped. I am capable. I can do this, right? I'm excited about my future. I'm not afraid of the future. I'm excited about it, right? Because you're ready. Most people are afraid of life because they know they're not ready. They're not equipped. They don't know who they are. They don't know what their talents are. They haven't thought through what they need to do, right? And they haven't practiced these skills. So